A lot of track day organizations will require these, but even more won't, especially for an entry level like an HPD 1, something like that. But here's why we always try and have a tow hook on the front of our car. If your car goes off, and there's a good chance it will, after all it's a racetrack, the emergency crew does not actually care about your car. They care about somebody being in the way of the other cars on track, and they care about getting you out of that position as quickly as possible, which means they're just looking for the fastest way to hook to your car to tow it out of there. That might be a control arm, it might be a front bumper, it might be a lower radiator hose if it's dark or hard to see under your car or there's gravel in the way. So we always like to have a good tow hook on our cars, so that way there's way less of a risk of damage if somebody needs to pull us out of a tough situation. So what tow hook should you use? Now, our GTI, like most modern cars, comes with this tow hook that threads through a hole in the front bumper. And this is totally fine. You can go and do a bunch of track days with this, but there's an issue here, and that's that it sits on the front of the car like your car is going jousting. It sits sticking right out like this, and that means that A, it can be broken off, you'll hit your shins on it, and the other thing is, this looks a lot like a cheap factory tow hook, and you don't really want to drive around on the street with this all the time. So we're not going to use this. Now, this is a fantastic $15 imported tow hook. So this tow hook looks perfect, nicely presented in a cheap cardboard box. It has a rough approximation of the Volkswagen threads that we'll need to put it in our bumper, and it folds out of the way and looks kind of cool, which means that we don't have to take it on and off every track day. And we're not going to hit our shins on it or bash up other cars. So what's the issue? The issue is that this tow hook only weighs a few grams because it is entirely aluminum. And I don't just mean that this is aluminum, I mean the threads and the shaft and everything is aluminum. Now that's a problem because these explode if you actually try and tow your car with them. This is just an ornament for your front bumper and not something you can actually go on track with. In fact, I think I could break this in half with a vise and just like a cheap hammer. Let's go ahead and try. Now, I'm not going to use my nice shiny Volkswagen. Instead, I'm going to use our Grassroots Motorsports tow hook tester here to see if we can spark one. So I'll start with the stock Volkswagen tow hook. I'm going to grab it right at the base there, cinch it down. This is not a particularly strong or sturdy vise or anything. Oh, and I'll just give it a hit with our tester. Oh, that wasn't that hard of a hit. I'd call that lightly buried in the gravel trap at Road Atlanta, and we managed to pull the car out. So let's go with this fantastic Amazon tow hook here. So go ahead and clamp it down the same way. Now I'm not clamping on the threads because I don't think that would be really fair, and I don't think I'll need to. And the cool thing about this is you can index it to fit your car. So I'll go ahead and just tighten that down here. Got my handy dandy adjustable wrench. Okay, and now let's give it the same hit here. I honestly thought that was going to take more than one hit, but as you can see, that wasn't that strong, and you can see it broke right at the aluminum thread there, kind of where I thought it would. So, moral of the story, probably not worth $15, definitely not a good idea to put on track on your car. So what's the best of both worlds? We think it's this 034 Motorsport stainless steel tow hook. Now, this is about 150 bucks, so it's not free, but wow is it sturdy. And it also has the correct threads cut in to actually match the stock design here. Now, if you look at the $15 Amazon tow hook, see, it kind of has the threads, but not really. We would never trust this to actually pull a car. So the stainless steel tow hook, 150 bucks. It is 100% stainless steel, which means it should actually last if you try and pull a car out of a gravel trap with it. And it also folds out of the way, and it also looks quite nice if we do say so ourselves. So, how do you tell the difference between a cheap tow hook that will break when you try to use it and a good tow hook that will actually pull you out of that gravel pit? There's a few ways to do so. First of all, buy from a reputable vendor. That name I couldn't pronounce on Amazon is not going to sell a good tow hook unless you get real lucky. That $15 price point is also a warning sign. You just can't make something custom fit to a specific chassis strong enough to tow the car and sell it for $15. The other way to tell is weight. So I have our little shipping scale here, and as you can see, the Air weighs 0 ounces, and the cheap tow hook looks like about 9 ounces. That's because it's all aluminum. Now, the stock tow hook weighs 17 ounces, and the 034 Motorsport part weighs, looks like right about 25 ounces. So This is one area of the car we're happy to spend the extra pound versus this tow hook, because you kind of need the strength and the structure to be able to actually pull your car. So we talked about price. Buy from a reputable vendor too. 034 Motorsport actually takes their cars to the track and tests them. You can read reviews. You can see that other people have towed their cars with these and not had them explode. This one, the reviews were all 1 stars, and it basically promised it would let our car roll back off the truck down the hill and into a ravine if we used it. Oh, that's a little bit of advice on tow hooks. We'll be putting this one on the front of our car and leaving it forever. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you like and subscribe, and until next time, we'll see you at the track.
Support brands that support grassroots motorsports. Get your chemical solutions from CRC Industries. Visit crcindustries.com to learn more.